Hi all, out here with more space engineers, and as you can see, I'm being chased by T-600s. We need to get these guys taken care of. Show you what we've been working on with the new shuttle. But first, well, we have to clear these guys out. We have to get started, so let's go. So, happy Wednesday, everybody. Hopefully you're having a fantastic week. I know for the folks that had the long week, or the long weekend last week, it's probably a bit of a shock. But hopefully you're getting through the day well. So yeah, I was out collecting one of the random loot drops, and got jumped by a bunch of the T-600s. I think they're starting to plot together. Alright, so what we have done on the shuttle. We have gone ahead and added the large thrusters. Let me show you here. So what we have is we've got two of the tier 2 large thrusters for propulsion. We've got two more on the front for retro brake, and then we've got 4 of them for lift. Now the reason why we've gone ahead and gone with so many of these, in theory I should be able to get away with just 3 of them, but I like having a little bit extra. Because you're just never quite sure what's going to happen. So I figured this way we are overly protected. Now, I'm not sure. Actually, I know what you can do. Let's go take a look really quick. So the nice thing about the game is that when you place something, even if it's not finished, we can look at it and tell you what the max power is. So this is going to take 403 megawatts for each one of those. And let's see what the reactors are putting out. These are putting out 300 megawatts each. Oh, so you're looking at basically 1.5, well, yeah, roughly 1.5 reactors per thruster. So at 8, so basically we'll need six reactors to fully power the lift system. So what I will probably do then is I'm thinking maybe add a 5th thruster after all. And what we do is we only have 3 of them turned on for normal usage. Ow. Well, that's a thing. What I was going to say is we'll just use 3 of them for normal flight. So when we're coming back, if we're under full load, you know, we'll use 3, but we have 2 more to fall back on just in case. And I'm betting Bob picked my stuff up. Nope. Surprised. Okay. Well, that was convenient. Okay. So yeah, so I'm thinking maybe put basically once we have everything powered up and have the thrusters added, maybe take this thruster or this block out, the landing gear out. Put a thruster here in the middle. Because that's 1, 2, 3, and it's going to have to be by 3, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3. Maybe. May end up moving forward 1. Yeah, so if we do that, if we do 1, 2, and 3, take these 3 blocks out, put the thruster in. Because these thrusters are airtight. I've used them in other builds. So I'm not that worried about it. So, but basically being able to sink that in there will frame out the rest of this. Yeah, I think that's going to work nicely. And like I said, what we'll do is we'll set it up so that the 2 aft engines and the forward central engine are the normal, and then we'll have a secondary control system that we basically you flip the panic button when you need to make sure you're actually not going to crash into the ground, and that will give us way more lift than will be necessary for this. because what we'll be able to do is, even with these fully loaded with platinum or ice, we shouldn't be in a situation where more than 2 of these are necessary. But in the case that something happens and something changes, you know, we want to be able to make sure that we're able to get onto and off of planets, even the alien planet, which has the heightened gravity. So, all right. So I think that's all of that for now. Let me bring back my toolbar here so you can see what we're going to do today. I'm going to work on the cockpit because a couple people have asked about this. They want to see this process done. So what I'm thinking here is we're going to go like so. Let's turn off the auto rotate. And yeah, so basically what I've been planning, or what I've been thinking about, is we're going to go with the 2x1 windows. We're going to go ahead and get rid of, let's get rid of all of the flats for now. We want the 2x1 sloped, which I can never find when I'm looking for them. All right. Alright, so if we do... So I'm trying to figure out which side that... I guess technically that works. And I'm going to go... 1, 2, 3. And for you, we're just going to go 2. Hey. Alright, and then this is, for these we want the 2x1 flats. Oh, 2x3 flat. I didn't know I had a 2x3 flat. Alright. Well, that's convenient. Okay. Look at you. And that gives us our custom cockpit area. And make sure. So even if we fall out of the seat for some reason, we're not going to be drifting off into deep space. Alright, so let's go in, take a look, see what the view looks like from inside. Alright. It's dark because we haven't put lights in yet. I should probably get on that actually. Alright, so this is open space here, and I'm thinking, like I said, we're going to put in probably like just some set pieces over here. Like a little cafe style, like break room thing. You have O2 here. Alright, so if we get into this seat, we have a pretty decent amount of visual. I'm kind of liking this. And from this side, also a pretty decent amount of visual room here. You know, I do think I'm going to swap these chairs out. I think I'm going to use the azimuth seats for these. Alright, so we're going to do open cockpit, no oxygen left. I like the visibility of this a little bit better. And it has the bonus of you get out of the seat on the side that you get into it. So if we're going to do that, how about if we do them offset? like that. Nope. Okay, so it ejects you off to the stack side no matter which way you go. Okay, so if we're gonna do that, then let's go. Now these are the no oxygen variants, so that there's a yeah. I don't know, I might have to change that out. I wonder if there's any, if we have any walkways that have lower rails. And that looks like that ejects you out to the front. This one ejects you off to the side. Yeah. Might just have to go with the centered seats then. Let's see what the center seats look like. Passenger, open cockpit, no oxygen. There we go. Yeah, I think that's better. Alright. And it kind of kicks you straight out, so yeah, we'll do that. That's fine. Alright. You are complete, you are complete. And that gives us our windows, our cockpit area. Our windows in here, that is a 3x3, and then we have a couple of 1x1s to finish off the area in here, and this is the reason why we wanted it, so that you can get light in here. Now these are mounted to the half ramp blocks above it. What that means is that we can actually put lights inside the window areas here, so we'll have light even when we're in deep space and the windows are not facing the sun. Well, these are mounted on the inside block wall, so we won't be able to put anything back here because of that. But we can mount stuff to this, like to the medical room here or some, if we need to. So we can actually get some extra lights in here if we need them, or if we want them. We still need to put the door in. In fact, I have plates. Yes, I do. Okay, so let's go ahead and start getting some of these doors in. Like I said, we're going to try and keep this whole thing as vanilla as possible here. And do I want it that way, or do I want the door facing inwards? I think I want it that way. Okay. So you have your door here, you have doors there. Alright, so I think that's all of it then, because that comes in. You have some windows there, you'll be able to come in here, this will be closed off. So the rest of it I think is just set pieces on the interior side of this whole thing. Alright. Yeah, okay, I think that's gonna work. It should be interesting when it's done. Alright, so let's go ahead and get some more of our thrusters in place, because I do want to get these in location as well. Because what we're going to end up with is basically we want to be able to have the ability to maneuver. Always a important thing with your ship designs, right? Okay, so let's go and get that. And then we need a couple of retro thrusters. So we're going to do the... Oh, come here, you. I just realized auto rotate was on again. Alright, let's go ahead and get these things in here. Okay, and one more there, one more there. What I might do, because these are all tier 2s, or level 2s. So what I might do is actually take those out. Let's do it this way instead. This way we end up with 2 thrusters. 2 of the small thrusters in the lateral directions here. And then for ascent control. So we'll go ahead and flip you. And we'll flip you. Now, I might... I don't know. Because if we did that, it would block the window. Because if we did that... Let's give that a try. I'm kind of curious to see how this looks when it's done. See, my main concern with this, and the reason why I'm trying to figure out how I want to split the power up, is because if we're pushing even just 2 or 3 of these the main thrusters at the same time, we're going to have problems with vertical controls. And so I'm trying to figure out what is going to be the best way to keep our ascent and descent under control, and I think that might be probably the best way to do it. Alright, now we start sneaking in some of the more important stuff. Let's go ahead and get... Don't need any more doors, but we do need some gyroscopes. So let's get a gyroscope tucked up in here. Which way are you facing? Yeah, I think I want those facing down. Okay. And if we do that, we need to get an ore detector and an antenna. The antenna is going to be the tricky part. Let's go ahead and use the azimuth. I mean, technically, we don't really need the atmospheric version of this. Do I want it there or do I want it there? Let's put it there. And what we'll do is we'll have this. We'll probably carry this portion here. Looking at this conveyor block, we'll probably carry that down so that we can put some kind of point defense or something on the ship. But we'll see. We'll see how it all works out once we get that far in. Okay, so if you are there, yeah, the antenna is going to be the tricky piece, and I'm betting we're going to need to do for the antenna. Let's see what we got here. I may actually use the laser antenna. Because these... This is 1x3, right? Yeah. See, ideally, we would be able to mount this thing like that, so that it'd be center-lined. Let's see here. I think we're going to go this way to offset the ramp. Alright. Okay, now what we're going to do here is we're going to do a little surgery. Because what I want to do is I want to have the ability for this ship to produce emergency fuel. As long as it has a little bit of power, basically it'll be able to continue to feed itself. Now, in order to do that, what we're going to have to do is have a little fun with it, actually. Okay, so you're pushing forward 3 blocks. This ended up being a little bit tighter than originally designed. Interesting. The original design had an extra space in here for some reason. Oh, you know why? Because I had this built in here, and then there would be another connector here with space in the middle. Oh crap. The question is do I want to go through the hassle of breaking all of this down to move it out one? Alright. Let's leave it like it is for now. Let's go ahead and get this stuff off our bar. We're going to go ahead and bring back our regular blocks. Let's grab our conveyor block. It's always funny when you start working and you realize you didn't build to your blueprint. Yeah, see, I'm thinking that might be too close. Yeah, we'll give it a try. I mean, worst case scenario, what'll end up happening is I'll just basically paint half of this pink and move everything out a block and then put it all back in. But if I do that, I'll do it off camera because that's going to be a lot of time. Alright, so what we're going to do here is we're going to say we want a sorter block and we want the... what is it? It's the furnace? Yeah, arc furnace. Okay, so these have a connector on the sides there. It's just the two on one on either side, right? Not on the end. Okay, so what we're talking about doing is having this set up somehow. For some reason I thought there was one on the bottom of this too. Oh crap. What we could do is I could put this... You know what? I could do this. So I'm trying to figure out how to get this to work the way I want it to work. Because basically what I wanted to do is I'm going to put two systems in, two sorter blocks, so materials can only flow one way through it. And I only want uranium to be able to go in there. Actually, before we do that, let me check to make sure uranium can even go in here. It's been so long since I actually used a arc furnace for any type of specific stuff like this. We want inventory. We're going to go arc. Uranium ore. Yeah, see, uranium won't even go in there, so I'd have to put a regular refinery on it. Well, that solves one problem, but causes, or I should say creates other problems. Alright. I mean, I could... Ugh, that would be ugly. That would be really ugly. I mean, we could do it. Put two refineries back here, have them hanging off the ass of the ship. Oh, okay. Let's see what we're going to do here. So one of the things that I do want to make sure that we do is let's go ahead and get the O2 generator in here. Since we can't use the arc furnace, that's fine. we can use this. So let's go ahead and do that. That gives us another tie-in through the whole thing. Do I want to put an assembler on it? See, I had thought about putting an assembler on it, because if we do put the arc furnace on, we'd be able to basically refine most materials, except for uranium, apparently. And then we'd be able to do building in space as well. You know what? Yeah, let's do that. So what we'll do is... no. Move the assembler. We're going to do the same thing with the assembler we just did with the O2 systems. We can run that back this way, have the arc furnace tied into it. How are we going to do that though? Because I could put an arc furnace on either side. Oh, that could work really well, actually. So if we do something like... yeah, I'm liking the way that looks, actually. So if we do something like that... actually, that's not going to work, because it won't feed in. We'd have to turn it sideways. That's going there, that's going there, which means we'll have to put the arc furnace. What's that going to look like when it's done? It's going to look like that. Let's flip it back this way. And we're going to put two of these in. And then we have an assembler. We have two basic refineries. You know, they're not as efficient as a regular refinery, but that's okay. They don't need to be. And we're going to do connector there. We're going to bring you out that way, bring you out that way. Tie you all together. Oh, hiccups. Excuse me. And then what I'm thinking here is, do we want to put a connector? I think we do. We're going to bring the connector back a bit. So the question is do we want to do something like this and put the connector here? You, put you there. Because we could do that. And then what we do on this side is, can we get a camera? Where can we mount a camera on this thing? Because I want to be able to see what we're doing. Can't mount the camera there. Could mount the camera back there. That might not be a bad idea, actually. And remember, when you're mounting a camera, for this thing to be correct way up when you're looking at it, the little dot you see slightly off center there needs to be in the bottom left, or you can just look for the curved wiring looking thing, the curved bar at the top. That's basically the text alignment. Alright, so if we do that, that gives us a view back this way. Oh, that could work nicely. It is too bad that we can't mount the camera here. I mean, I could if I wanted, if I did that. I could put the camera there. Or we could leave them both there, and then basically that lets me see if I'm too high or too low on it. Right. We could do that. So let's go. Can we? It would be nice to be able to do that. And take that back as a strap system. Let's see if we do something like this. Yes, we're looking at doing a little bit of greebling. So if we're doing this, right? So let's go with vanilla walkways. And what we'll do here something like that. Yeah, that should look good when it's done, I think. And then for here, what we'll do is do 2 on either side of this. And that way the camera can still see through. And then we do half blocks. Like this. To tie the whole thing together. And that gives us some strutting that will hold, hopefully hold most of this together here for us. And we will rinse and repeat this process down here. You're going to block part of it, but we can... If we go this way... So if we come back like so... Look at that. We have ourselves a small industrial ship. Okay. And then basically for here we'll do mostly the same thing.
Fuel low.
Let's go grab some more fuel really quickly. Actually, let's while we're still here. And basically we're just tying the whole ship together here a little bit. And I may replace these outer sections here. Or I might do something like this. That might work really well, actually. Because what this will allow us to do is that we can have what's effectively a bumper on the edge of the ship here. You see? And then we basically just do that all the way back. I'll probably change that somehow. I'm not sure what I'll do here with that yet. I think that's going to give us mostly what we're looking for, honestly. Because if we go like so, we'll take you out in a minute. Okay, so let's go back over here. We're going to rinse and repeat. Oh no, you know what we can do here? Instead of that, we'll do this. See, we get a little bit of flaring on the engine nacelle. Oh, I like that. That worked out nicely. Okay. And we went. You to carry all the way forward. And I'm thinking for the front here, we'll probably go with these instead. And then we'll do that. Repeat that on this side. And then we'll do the same on the top, but I need to go get some hydrogen first. Alright, so I'm going to go we're going to do a quick cut. I'm going to get these things welded up. Sun's setting in the game anyway, and when we bring it back, we'll see what it looks like with what we've got, and then we'll start doing some more greebling, get the details in on this thing, and see where we can go from there, right? So yeah, we will be right back. And we're back, and once again, as you can see, I'm being attacked by some more Terminators. Alright. They seem to have, oh, hello. Seem to have attracted a bunch of attention. Any more? Okay, I think Bob is... yeah, it looks like Bob is close enough to pick up all these. Alright. Awesome. That makes it easy. So, yeah, basically was working on the ship a little bit. Let me show you what we've got going on. Because the assemblers have been running pretty much all night for everything. So we now have lift thrust in at least one lift thruster. We have a retro thrust. Still don't have this one done. We're still waiting for thruster components. I think it's outside of the Bob's range. And then we know these are outside of Bob's range, so we're not going to worry too much about those. What we're going to do is we're going to see if we can get this thing up off the ground. So I've been trying to figure out, I have a area that is not pressurizing for some reason, and I'm trying to figure out where the problem is. Now, in theory, this should be okay here. But it doesn't seem to want to pressurize for some reason, so we're going to try that. And all the doors are open, so it's not going to well, actually, no, this... see, that is completely sealed, but it's saying it's not pressurized. I've even gone through and changed out blocks and added more blocks to try and seal it in. And the only thing I can think of is that for some reason, that particular block there is causing the problem. So let's do this. So if we take you out, let's put in a regular conveyor block here. Because it may very well be that that's the problem. Is that maybe the air vent is not as airtight as we thought it was. But I could swear I've used those like that before. Do we really not have any motors? Oh, no, that goes. Okay. Let's see. It's 3 by 3, right? So if we go... Like that. You are sealed on the back. You are sealed there. You are sealed there. Yeah, so it's been, I'm wondering if it might just be an issue with the detection. Because sometimes what will happen is when you're working with this stuff, is it will decide it doesn't want to detect that it's a sealed environment. So let's... Yeah, I might need to restart the game. Sometimes when you're working with large grids or multiple oxygen zones, the game loses detection on what's what. So what we may need to do is we may just restart the game and see if it'll detect it. If not, I'll probably have to pull part of the ship apart and try and figure out where the problem is. Well, you know what? It might actually be this corner. No. That should be inside the envelope. That should not be an issue. Okay. Only other... Oh, you know what? I wonder if it's going to be... It's going to be you. See, the problem that you have with the two-part ramps, the 2x1s, is that the sides are not airtight. So if you leave portions open, what ends up happening is that these won't always detect properly. Maybe it's you. Maybe you're the culprit. Let's try. So if we close that. Now when I did this before, this pressurized. The only thing that we changed... So if we do... And we can't put one there because of this. It doesn't make any sense. What changed in the pressurization? That is really weird. Okay, there's... That should be okay. That's a square block. That's a square block. And that's a square block. Nothing out here is exposed. Turn the light on so we can see. So yeah, look at this is all square blocked. What in the hell? It's got to be something with the doors. See, because you're all square. Maybe it's because that block there. But no, it shouldn't. Because the corners don't have to be protected. Alright, so when they changed something in that update late last week, I think they broke airtightness for something, for the build. It may just be that I need to restart and try it again, but for first, we want to try and move this thing. This is going to be scary. Okay. Let's make sure what thrusters we have are turned on. Oh, let's see if it breaks. Alright, that tells me these thrusters are really overpowered. Okay. So we're going to swing this thing around a little bit. Oh, that might be a little too much. Alright, and then we're going to swing the back end around. I'm going to try and keep her steady. Now, we don't have any reverse or any primary propulsion yet, so I'm not going to have this thing move too forward or back, because well, we don't have any way of stopping if we do, so that could be bad. So let's bring this down. We are locked. Turn off the thrusters to save a little bit of power. Alright. Yeah, like I said, these this thruster system seems to be a wee bit overpowered, so I'm wondering, because if you remember when we did the first portion of this, when we had all of this first put together, we had this set up so that this whole thing was airtight in here. Wondering. There's something that we did. Alright. I'm going to see if I can figure this out. We're going to go ahead and call this one here. I want to thank y'all for stopping in. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, just want to do something nice for me, or you want to be sure to see more, smack that subscribe button. If you want to be kept up to date, make sure you ring the bell. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to throw them down in the section below. Especially if you have any ideas of where we might have a leak, because like I said, before we started greebling it, we had no leak. Now we have a leak, so I'm not quite sure where the problem is. I mean, it might be these, but again, it shouldn't be an issue because this corner here should be sealed. Ah, man. Keen, what did you guys do? Anyway, I'm going to keep working on this, see if I can get this thing to pressurize again. When we come back next time, I'm not quite sure what we're going to be doing. Probably taking this thing into space for the first time, see how well she handles. Or I may do that off camera, and then, yeah, we'll see. We'll figure it out. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Have a terrific week, and we will see you back here next time for more Space Engineers. As always, folks, take care and be safe out there, everybody. Alright, so now we have to figure out what is actually causing this thing to not hold atmosphere.